NTU students' Typhoon bet backfires. Taiwan plans new weekday travel subsidies. Taiwan denies U.S. trade investment rumors. Trump signs funding bill to end government shutdown after 43 days. Xi pitches closer ties to Spanish king. Warnings rise for U.S. as severe flu strain causes outbreaks. Heineken UK cuts Foster's alcohol strength to 3.4%. Apple's new iPhone Pocket ridiculed online.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funny News. It's Friday, November 14th, World Diabetes Day, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan News, a self-proclaimed NTU atmospheric science student went viral after boldly predicting 2 typhoon days off in Taipei during Typhoon Fenghuang. He vowed to give out chicken cutlets and bubble tea if he was wrong. The forecast failed, and even the Student Association distanced itself. Still, he promised to pay up, though admitting he is broke and can only provide 100 bubble teas. To boost domestic travel and encourage weekday trips, Transportation Minister Chen Shih-kai said the government plans to offer weekday hotel subsidies next year. $800 for the first night and $1,200 for the second. A monthly $1,200 birthday bonus for 1,000 citizens is also planned. Additional incentives depend on budget approval, but are expected to launch early next year. Reports that the U.S. demanded Taiwan match South Korea's $350 billion or Japan's $550 billion investment were denied by officials. Deputy Minister He Jing-sung said any updates would come from the Executive Yuan. Taiwan's plan includes TSMC and supply chain self-investment of around $200 billion, plus government-backed financing totaling $300 to $400 billion, along with G2G Industrial Park cooperation. And in global news, President Donald Trump signed a government funding bill Wednesday night, ending a record 43-day shutdown that caused financial stress for federal workers who went without paychecks, stranded scores of travelers at airports, and generated long lines at some food banks. The shutdown magnified partisan divisions in Washington as Trump took unprecedented unilateral actions, including canceling projects and trying to fire federal workers to pressure Democrats into relenting on their demands.
Today we're sending a clear message that we will never give in to extortion, because that's what it was. They tried to extort, the Democrats tried to extort our country.
The Republican president blamed the situation on Democrats and suggested that voters shouldn't reward the party during next year's midterm elections. Trump said, "So I just want to tell the American people, you should not forget this. When we come up to midterms and other things, don't forget what they've done to our country." The signing ceremony came just hours after the House passed the measure in a mostly party-line vote of 222 to 209. The Senate had already passed the measure on Monday. The legislation is the result of a deal reached by 8 senators who broke ranks with the Democrats after concluding that Republicans would not bend on using a government funding bill to extend the healthcare tax credits.
Chinese President Xi Jinping offers Spain's King Philip VI a vision of cooperation with great global influence as Beijing seeks Spanish support within the EU in exchange for greater economic security for its European partner. Philip is the first Spanish monarch to make a state visit to China in 18 years. Madrid has led the European Union in courting Beijing for new investment since Trump threatened to make Spain pay twice as much unless it increased its contributions to the NATO alliance.
For its part, China is eager to move past trade frictions with the 27-member EU over its heavily subsidized electric vehicle industry. In addition, tensions with the White House are weighing on Beijing's export-driven economy, prompting Chinese firms to seek new commercial hubs in regions such as Latin America and North Africa, where Spain has long-standing ties. In April, Beijing unveiled a new foreign affairs program calling for greater collaboration with Japan and South Korea on supply chain security, as well as deeper commercial relations with China. The broader EU remains wary of Beijing, citing its support for Russia, its state-backed industrial base, and imbalanced trade flows.
As flu season gets underway, global health experts are increasingly worried about a new strain of the virus that popped up in June. The new strain, a version of H3N2, is causing outbreaks in Canada and the UK, where health officials are warning about the early wave that's sending people to the hospital. The head of the World Health Organization's Global Respiratory Threats Unit said, since it emerged, it's rapidly spreading and predominantly in some countries so far in the Northern Hemisphere.
Last week, the head of the UK's National Health Service said the UK is heading into what looks set to be a cruel winter, with flu cases being triple what they were this time last year. Angela Rasmussen, a virologist at the University of Saskatchewan, said, it's picking up in Canada too. H3N2 is generally thought to cause more illness and be worse for older adults than other strains. Japan is also experiencing an unusually early and harsh flu season that's unprecedented. Japanese news outlet Nippon TV reported that as of November 4th, according to the Japanese Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, flu cases in Tokyo had surged to nearly 6 times the level seen at this time last year.
Foster's beer drinkers in the UK will soon find their lager's alcohol strength cut to 3.4%. Heineken UK, which brews Foster's, said reducing the alcohol strength from the current 3.7% would make the lager eligible for lower rates of alcohol duty. The brewer hinted at cheaper pints, saying customers benefit from more competitive pricing because of the lower tax charge. The change is set to take effect by February, marking the second time in 3 years that Foster's alcohol percentage has been reduced.
Heineken UK said it was responding to changes in UK government policy, which have encouraged brewers to offer lower alcohol options. The government introduced a new system of alcohol duties based on strength in August 2023, which made less alcoholic beers and ciders relatively cheaper compared to stronger alternatives. Since then, rival brews such as Carlsberg Pilsner, Sol, Coors Light, and Grolsch have also been reformulated to an ABV below 3.4% to qualify for the lower tax rate in the UK. The company insisted that punters would not notice the difference after extensive consumer testing. Heineken said last month that its global beer sales would fall next year as drinkers cut back because of pressure on their household budgets.
Apple has faced a wave of online mockery following its announcement of a new carrying case for its iPhone range. The US tech giant was ridiculed after it revealed that the iPhone Pocket, announced on Tuesday, would retail for £219.95, despite it being little more than a novel way to carry a mobile device. Many took aim at the high price online, while others made fun of its striking likeness to a piece of everyday knitted footwear, with one ex-user calling it $230 for a cut-up sock.
In a press release, Apple said the brightly colored accessory was part of a limited edition range created in collaboration with the Japanese fashion label Issey Miyake. The late fashion designer had previously worked with the tech firm to create the black turtleneck jumpers famously worn by the company's co-founder, Steve Jobs. Apple said the product had been inspired by a piece of cloth, and its concept came from the idea of creating an additional pocket. The bag's short strap design will be available in 8 colors, and the long strap version in 3 colors. The announcement drew criticism on social media, with many suggesting it showed Apple fans would pay for anything.
The answer for yesterday was B, infrastructure. The government spent billions improving the country's infrastructure, including roads, bridges, and power systems. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Trump signs funding bill to end government shutdown after 43 days. Number 1, magnify, 放大, 夸大. Stress can magnify minor problems into major ones. Number 2, generate, 产生引起. The new policy is expected to generate many job opportunities. Number 3, unprecedented, 前所未有的. The pandemic caused an unprecedented disruption to global travel. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced next week. World Diabetes Day was introduced in 1991 by the International Diabetes Federation and the World Health Organization in response to the rising number of diabetes cases worldwide. The day aims to raise awareness about diabetes, related health concerns, and potential causes. The chosen date was the birthday of Sir Frederick Banting, the Canadian medical scientist who co-discovered insulin and was the first person to use it to benefit humans. And that's all for today's FUNDAY News. Be sure to tune in to FUNDAY News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.